it's Johara. Welcome back to my channel. So, I'm doing my very first video of predicting 5-star reads. So, I have 3 bookshelves, as you would have seen in my bookshelf tour. And I'm going to go from one bookshelf to the other and saying 5-star, what I think will be 5-star reads when I finally read them. On each shelf, in case you didn't see that video, I categorized them by one books that have is associated with some sort of movie, whether or not the book or movie came first. Obviously, most of them the book came first, but in like Monster High, the movie came first. Descendants, I think the movie came first. I might be wrong. Avatar, the series came first before the book. But yeah, so most of the time the book does come first, but I do have some ones here where the movie came first. But second shelf are ones without adaptations. But because I did it this way, some books that kind of go together are also separated. Like Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel. Nicholas is associated with Harry Potter, but it does not have an adaptation. Same with Percy Jackson. Here's Olympus does not have a adaptation. And there's one more. King of Scars duology, because Shadow Bone has an adaptation now, and Six Crows I heard is going to get an adaptation, so I went ahead and put that there. So yeah. But I may decide to change it. I told you in my bookshelf organizing thing video that if you had any idea like how you uh, organize your bookshelves, and leave it in the comments, and I will see if I want to change it, because I don't know how, because I thought this would be an interesting change, because I've I like to change up how I organize my bookshelves every so often. And yeah, so that's fun. But in my bookshelf tour, I did forget to put my current book I'm reading on there. And I think I'm going to put it. Honestly, I kind of want it to be after Harry Potter because I love it so much. I want it to be one of the first books in my shelf, to be honest. Well, not this one. Wait. Okay, I'm wrong because there's no adaptation with this. So why am I looking at this shelf? Okay, it should be this shelf. So I'll put it at the very beginning of the shelf, right before my Nicholas Flamel books. There should be enough room to put the first 2 books of the Nicholas Flamel series in there too. A friend is borrowing them, so awesome. So I will predict 5-star reads of the books I have not read. I know there's several books that I bought recently that I have not read. So let's do this. Okay. I will start with the book I'm currently reading. I might be cheating a little bit because I'm over halfway, but I can already tell that this is going to be a 5-star read. The Exiled of Shade and Shadow. It is just so good, and the second one will be coming out this summer. And I know the authors, Namu. I'm sorry if I say your names wrong. Well, the last name is more than anything. Schmid and Rebecca Schmid. Yeah, it is so good, and I'm in love with this, and I love the characters, Astra and Luco. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's just so good, and I'm right here. Like, see, I'm over halfway, and I'm loving this, and I can't wait for the second book. They recently revealed the cover for the second book, and it looks so cool. And the description, or they haven't really said what the description is, but they did do little, like, I guess, quotes or something with the book cover too. But it just seems so interesting, and I cannot wait. And I I finally have more time on my hands, so I can finish this book. I plan on finishing it today. But at the same time, I don't want to finish it because then I'll have to wait. I don't want to wait. Okay, maybe I'll do a. Oh, I forgot to mention. I was going to mention it, but then I forgot. Most books that I read, I do end up rating five or 4 stars. Not because I only rate books that I think are 5 or 4 stars, but because I just happen. I guess I'm more on the lucky side because I happen to, mostly because I read mostly fantasy, and I know that any fantasy I like. Like, I'm not that picky when it comes to fantasy. I'm like beyond picky with any other genre because when I read fantasy. Except Every Hunter books, and I did buy one book that's horror or thriller, one of the two. And there is this duology I want to read that's a mystery, but I mostly read fantasy. So most fantasies I can guarantee is either going to be a 4 or 5 star read because I just love them so much. Yes, there were having fantasies that I rated a bit on the lower side, like there's Twilight, but Twilight sucks. um, but I tend to just love what I end up reading because I only pick up books that I am sure I'm going to love. So if I don't end up loving them, I do get extremely disappointed because I'm just sure I'm going to love it. And if I don't, I'm sad because I love it or I wanted to love it or thought I would love it. But yeah, but so I'd say all the books on my bookshelf I pretty much think are either going to be 5 or 4 stars. So I'll only tell you the ones I think are going to be 5 stars. Maybe I'll do a video of books I think are going to be 4 star. I have rated 3, 2, and 1 stars, but it's rare. I do 3 a little bit more than I do 1 or 2, but it's still rare. Um, but yeah, so let's continue this. So we'll start with this shelf, and let's see. The top shelf, all these books on the top shelf I have read except for the last one, and that is After Our Last Airbender, The Rise of Kiyoshi. I found it at Barnes and Noble. I need to get the second one now. It's actually a funny story because when I was in Florida visiting my sister, we were at Barnes and Noble and I found the second one. I was like, I'm not gonna buy a second one without the first one, so I convinced myself not to buy it. Then I came back home, went to Barnes and Noble, found the first one. I was like, crap, I should have bought the first one, the second one, but oh well. I will buy the second one soon. I'm not going to read the first one until I do buy the second one. So I hope it's going to be soon, but we shall see. But I love Avatar: Last Airbender so much. I'm sure this is going to be a 5 star read, and I know for a fact I'm going to be highly disappointed if it's not. If it, I'm going to be even more disappointed if it's lower than a 4 star. But I don't think it will be because I do like Kyoshi. She's not my favorite avatar. My favorite avatars are Aang and um, Korra. I love the two of them, but honestly, she's probably next on the list after the two of them. I meant Roku. But those are the avatars you are mentioned the most. And Kyoshi even got her own book. That's how popular she became. But yeah. And I like to know more about, Kyoshi's world, about her land, because Suki is a Kyoshi warrior, and I love Suki. And knowing more about Kyoshi's land, we'll get to know more about Suki's home. But yeah, I am excited to read this. And I do expect, I don't have it yet, so I can't show it to you, but I do expect the second book, The Shadow Kyoshi, to be a 5 star read as well. I'm pretty sure they're going to stop there with the Kyoshi books, at least. With the Avatar comics, I'm not sure, because I do want to read those eventually, because I know they just came out or is about to come out with another comic that has to do with Suki. It's called Suki Alone, and I'm pretty sure it's when she was in the Fire Nation prison before she was before Sokka and Zuko rescued her. So, okay, these books. Well, huh. Now this series is a little more complicated because I'm not sure if every book in the series will be 5 stars. It's the Rise of the Guardians series. Like I don't know if you guys have seen the movie, but I love the movie, and they made a book for each one of the Guardians. There's 5, and I mean I like all the Guardians, but doesn't mean that I don't love them enough to. I don't know. Um, Okay, for now. I'm not sure about the other 4, but for now, I'm gonna say I know for a fact the fourth book, the one that has to do with Sandman, Sandy, as I call him because that's what his nickname is. I just know, I'm sure that he is gonna be a 5 star read because I am in love with Sandy. He is so amazing and fierce and sweet, and he is someone you do not want to mess with. He is also the very first guardian out of all the guardians, which in my opinion makes him the most powerful. But he's just awesome, and I love him so very, very much. And if he's not a 5-star read, I am going to cry for days. I'm not even kidding here. He's gonna be 5-star read. But for the other ones, I mean, I like all the Guardians, but I'm not necessarily sure if they're going to be 5-star reads. Do I like them that much? Is the question. I mean, I don't think any of them are going to be lower than a 4, but I don't know. Jack might be a 5 because I do like Jack Frost. He's probably my second favorite character. My mom's first, but so I'll say Jack Frost will be a 5-star read too because I do like Jack. I like his powers. I like all characters with ice powers. Him. Well, I wouldn't say necessarily I love Elsa. I do love her powers, but her character, I prefer Anna and Kristoff. They're my favorites, but I do love Elsa's power. Then there's Killer Frost from The Flash and Frozone from Incredibles. They all have amazing ice power, and I love it. Then Julie and the Phantoms. I'm gonna say this. I think this might be a 5-star read just because I love this series so much, and I also love that it's like in different people's point of view, which I did not realize at first, but it's so cool. But I can't wait for book 2 or season 2 because they're both. I think they come out around the same time. I might be wrong though. One may come out first. I do not know, but I love it. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna love this too because it's supposed to be a lot like the first season. I think they changed, or maybe not changed a few things, but maybe take away a couple things and add a few more things that wasn't on the show. But okay, what's next? That's probably gonna be a 4-star. Percy Jackson, I'm at odds for. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna say I will rate it a 4 in the future. I'm not sure. Okay, here. Shadow and Bone Trilogy. This I think I'm going to rate a 5-star. It just seems so interesting and the show looks so amazing, but I'm trying not to watch it before I actually read the series. And with all these books, I don't know when I'm actually going to get to it. That's the problem because I originally said I was going to do the standalones first because I don't usually read standalones, but I bought some. Well, kind of. I bought one, and then I bought the Twisted Tale series. Well, most of them. And those are kind of standalones. So yeah, well, I don't know if I when I'll get to it, but maybe I'll go ahead and. But if I read this, I'm gonna want to read Six Crows and the King of Scars too, because like I can't just read this and then wait to read the rest. They're all part of the same universe. But yeah, I definitely think this is gonna be a 5-star read. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love the show as well, and yes, so I'm excited to read this. I mean, it's been the hype for a while since season 1 came out, and I'm so excited to finally give this a try. Okay. Now, we're on to this. Okay, we're on to the shelf. So, let's see. The ones on top I have read up until here. Right here. The first book of the Maid Shadow Realm Chronicles. I just bought the second and third ones. Haven't read those yet, but actually that's what I'm gonna do next after I'm done with this because I've already read the first book, so I want to get the second and third one done. I have no idea how many there's gonna be, but this I'm pretty sure this isn't the end. Wrong Ruin I technically have read, but it was so long ago I don't remember. But all those I think are gonna be 4-stars. So moving on. That's probably gonna be 4-stars. Twisted Tales. Actually, I have more books on here I think are gonna be 4-stars than I realized. Oh well, 4 stars is still great ratings. 3 stars is still a good rating, you know? It's 1 and 2 stars that's not so good rating. Twisted Tales. I mean, I rated the Beauty and the Beast one 4 stars. And that's my favorite fairy tale, so I doubt the other ones will be any higher. I mentioned Shadow of Bone because I think Sissy Crows might be end up being a 4 star. I don't know. This is harder than I thought. Like, are these gonna be 4 stars or 5 stars? Okay, this I know. I'm sure it's gonna be a 4 star. Ember and Ash. I know this is an old cover, so forgive me. I bought this a long time ago. Actually, I didn't buy this, did I? Did I buy it at Barnes Noble, or was this one of these books a teacher gave me for free? I don't remember, but I think it was around the same time. So I've had this since high school. Haven't read it yet, and I've heard a lot of great news things about it since, and I really want to read it. I did get the other books recently-ish. Two of them I bought recently. One of them was gifted to me not that long ago. So my books don't match because I have the new covers for the rest, but I don't really care about covers. I just care what's inside the story. And this is going to be a 5 stars. 5 stars. I know it. I know it. And if not, I'm going to cry. Let's be real. If any of these books that I think are going to be 5 stars aren't, I'm going to cry for days. So, Ash Princess. I got this at Barnes and Noble a while ago, around the same time I got An Ember in the Ashes. I finally bought the second and third book for the trilogy, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 5 stars. If it's not, I'm going to cry like everything else. But it just seems so interesting. My best friend actually borrowed my copy. She read it before me, and she loved it, and she thinks I'm going to love it. So I doubt that I won't. She knows my taste. We have similar tastes for the most for some of it. She likes manga. I don't, but we both do like fantasy and stuff like this as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to love this. And if I don't, you know what's gonna happen. That's all for this shelf. That's gonna be 5 stars. Ah, Stitch fell. Anna fell too. I decorated my bookshelves finally. I forgot about my soda. Oh well. Okay. Now is for the last shelf, my Aaron Hunter shelf. Ignore that light up there. Okay. So, what have I read? Everything right here and this I have read. But I'm going to reread what I have read of Warriors because I don't really remember it very much. I'm actually going to reread Seeker soon. After I finish the Shadow Realm Chronicles of what's out so far, I'm going to reread Seekers because it's been too long. I have to reread Seekers at least once a year or I will lose my mind. Seekers is my favorite book, which shouldn't surprise you at this point because I tend to mention it a lot. I mean, I named my channel after Seekers. If you're a new subscriber, you might not realize, but I named my channel Seeker Books because of Seekers, the book, because it's just amazing and I'm in love with it. So, honestly, I think all of Aaron Hunter's stories are going to be 5 stars. If it's not, I'm going to cry myself to sleep. I swear. I swear I will cry myself to sleep if every Aaron Hunter book is not 5 stars. Seekers, every book was 5 stars. Every book. Because they're all amazing. Except for these mangas. Like I said, I'm not a fan of mangas, but I decided to give them a try only because of Seekers. I decided I'm not going to read the Warrior books. But these, I think, I still end up rating 4 stars because I just didn't have the heart not to rate them lower than that. Because I mean, it's not like they were bad. I like the stories inside them. It's just I didn't like the style, if that makes sense. So yeah, but I'm keeping them just because they're Seekers, and I can't give everything Seekers. I don't know if I showed you guys this, but I've actually drew some Seeker drawings, and I plan on drawing some more just to fill in my library because I love Seekers. Like you might have seen when I was showing you these bookshelves, I have over there is Tokolo. Here's Udrak. It's kind of hidden from my bookshelf, so I'm planning on moving them. I don't know where yet, but they're gonna stay in my library. I know that much. Then Lusa's right there. It might be hard to see because of the window. Kalik she's easier to see. Then over there, it's harder because it's farther away, are two drawings I drew of all four of them together. One of them is just them side by side, and the last one is Yudrug above them, watching them from the afterlife since he died. Spoiler, sorry. But yeah. So, anyways, back to this. So, every Warriors book, 5 stars. Every Survivors book, 5 stars. Every Bravelands book, 5 stars. I don't know. The novelist I might have be 4 stars in the end. Not, I'm not sure if they're going to be 4 or 5 stars because novelists are a bit different. Depending on the character of the novelist talking about, will depend whether or not it'll end up being a 5 or 4 star. I'm pretty sure. I'm sad they never made Secrets novels, but I don't know that they didn't make a Survivors novel. I think there's only one though. And then Bravelands they haven't yet. There's only one arc of Bravelands. There's 2 of Secrets plus 2 mangas. There's 6 arcs of Warriors, and they're almost done with the 7th arc. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 novelists. One of them just came out. I bought it like right after it came out. And then 2 arcs of Survivors plus a novella, and then there's 1 arc of Bravelands. So that's all so far. That's their newest. So yeah, all these this entire shelf is gonna end up being a 5 star shelf. I can see it. Ooh, that's a way I could always separate things by how much I rated them. But at the same time, that won't work because, like in the where is it? In the case of Storymaker Trilogy, I rated this one 4 stars. The second one was 3 stars, and the third one I don't remember was 4 or 3. I don't remember, but I don't know because honestly it was probably 4.5 because I don't like it as much as this, but I like it more than the second. Second one I have issues with mostly because I did not like the person who was following because they changed the perspective of the main character. Um, so and I want to keep series together. It's my one little niche. So I don't think that will work very much unless I just keep them all together and have it not be exactly a star rated organization. I don't know. Oh, and my charm books. I almost forgot about that. Okay, my charm books. They're kind of high up there. And there's like 41, 42 of them. I almost on all of them. I'm missing 3. They should be coming. I bought them, so they should be on their way. Um, what would I rate those? This is literally just my charm shelf right now until I get books that are this small, which may not happen. That's the reason why I'm using this shelf as my charm books because there's a lot of them, so I don't want them to take up one of these other bookshelves, and they're tiny so they can fit here. Most of my other books are too big to fit there, and if they can, they like barely can. These there's still room. Um, honestly, some of these will probably be 5 stars, but I don't think every one of them will be. Just because it depends on the character it's mostly about. There's one that's Leo Rising. I think that's the last one in the series. That will probably that's one of them I don't have yet. That will probably be 5 stars. And honestly, so will Trick or Treat just because it sounds all Halloweenish. So I'm hoping that's 5 stars too. I know there's a couple that's about Piper that I just know will be about 5 stars. Like this one, Piper. That was further in the series. There's another one that has Piper in the name. 2 Pipers or something. A Tale of 2 Pipers, that's what it's called. Where is it? Where is it? I have no idea what it is. It has to be here somewhere. I know I saw it. I know I have it. There's one that has Daryl on the cover. I think that's gonna be 5 star too, just because I like Daryl. There's Phoebe Who, which will probably be a 5 star because Phoebe's my second favorite character after Piper, because Piper's the best. Where the heck is the other Piper book? Well, there might be more that has to do with Piper. Oh, here it is. But they just don't have Piper in the name. Or I think it's also like the character that's in the middle that's a little bit more on the center. Like there's always 3 witches. First 10 have to do with have Prue in it, the rest have Paige in it. And I think the sister that's in the middle is the one that's a little bit more about. Um, and so yeah, but honestly, if they have to do a lot with either Prue or Paige as the center, then those ones will probably be 4. I love Charmed and I don't want to rate anything lower than 4, so I'm hoping I won't have to. But if the books that are going to be 4-star will probably be the ones that have a little bit more to do with Prue or Paige. Piper and Phoebe ones, or Leo and Daryl ones, or Cole ones will all probably be 5 because I love them so much. So yeah, those are my 5-star reads. I hope. If they're not, I'm gonna cry. And so please like and subscribe and comment your 5-star reads or what you think will be 5-star reads. And I was train of tell me if you want me to make a video of what I think 4-star reads will be. Because the rest of my books will probably be 4-star reads, to be honest. Like I said, I don't rate very many lower than 4. I had before, I think all the Twilight books are a 1-star. The Ever After High book is a 1. The second book is a 2, and the fourth book is a 1 as well. But those are the only books I can think of that I actually did not like. So yeah, and I will talk to you guys later.